first off, hey, it's Ebony with RnB Vibes, and I have the one and only, the amazing, as he's eating, getting himself prepped and ready.
Let me stop shooting this mic.
No, because I want to ask you questions, and my brain is going to be like, you know what, bump the intro part. I want to just go straight into it.
Let's do it.
Your vibe is just open. It's very, vulnerable and truthful, and I'm like,
you have that energy about you, so
it's the Gemini.
You're a Gemini?
I'm a Gemini. You Gemini? Whatever.
We are Geminis, yes. This is my brother in A&R and just so many things on my team. But yeah, he's a Gemini.
They say that we're crazy.
We are crazy. Well, which one of us? One of the versions of us is crazy.
There's 17 of me, so I think that.
Oh, wow, you might have me beat. I always say there's 7 of me.
7? Okay,
yeah.
And for 17? My friend, what are you? Like 7, 8? A lot.
I've met 4, I think, of him.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
See, I feel like every time I buy a new wig, another one is created. So that's probably a bad thing, but I enjoy it.
The thing with me, though, why it's interesting with me is because I'm all 7 of those people at once. They're like fighting for like the microphone.
Who's going to be the one today?
Oh, the one today is just grateful for life. I've been reading like the art of positive thinking, which is so funny because I was on the phone with my homie yesterday. I was like, yeah, I've been reading this. He saw a post. He's like, bro, I'm proud of you because I really was like walking around like knocking niggas upside their head.
Word.
So he's like, I'm so proud of you. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not letting nobody bring negative energy towards me.
Yeah.
20 minutes later, I'm on the phone like,
See, that's where I think our vibe is there, because when it comes to Geminis, a little bit of that crazy comes out at some point. Mm-hmm. Even if you tell yourself, no, not today. No, it's going to come out.
I always say that. There's always that, there's the angel on one shoulder, and there's one with the horns that says, burn this motherfucker down.
Oh, my God.
Can I curse?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
They say, burn this motherfucker down.
Well, burn it down. It down. And I want to give you a nod, because I don't know if you remember this, but I remember talking to Phil Thornton about you.
Yeah.
And telling him how obsessed I am of you because of your song. Well, all your music, but this particular time it was Sky Blue.
Wow. I remember that conversation.
You remember this conversation?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here's what I did not like. The fact that I was FaceTimed afterwards, no wig, no makeup, and I'm sitting there like, so am I supposed to hit? Like, oh, no, camera's going to be off. Like, we're not doing that. But what I loved was just how open and how humbling and how sweet you were.
Thank you.
Like, it's so different, because a lot of artists that you meet, they end up having this kind of facade, this face that's on them, and you're not getting the person, you're just getting this makeup of who they created in order to be in front of a fan or listener. So
I know some artists that are that way, and I just look at them, I was like, that, and that's got to be so painful.
Very.
And some of them are super successful, and sometimes it works, but when it works, it's even more painful, because it's like, that's not who you really are. So it's like, you got to go home and like take it all off and then put it back on. But for me, it varies, right? Because I was raised by women, especially Black women. So I'm very protective of you guys. And but you guys are also a safe space for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, naturally I just gravitate towards the love and care of like that you guys naturally like exude in your aura. So yeah, I'm always grateful. Like, in moments like that, when to be celebrated by you, and then I want to reciprocate it. Like that makes me excited. So as soon as I landed, they were like, "Oh, we're coming here." I was like, "Yes!" I remember the conversation. I remember where I was. We were at this thing honoring Nisha, I believe, this BMI dinner. Actually, that Wardell put together. So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, I remember that call, and I swear that told me right then and there I have to meet him even more. And when I learned your story a lot more, I was like, oh, I know a lot about this man, and he's behind a lot of different tracks. So let's start from the beginning a little bit.
Okay.
We're going to go to the Blockbuster days.
Okay. You really know everything. First of all, I wasn't even old enough to be working there, so this is they're not even in business no more. So
Right.
So I think my sister's boyfriend was a manager there.
Okay.
And I needed a job. I wanted a job so bad. And he was able to like put me through the system like I was 16. I don't even know how they were able to give me the checks and stuff like that, but I was working there.
Yeah, I thought that weird. I was like, how was he working there at like 15 to 16 years old? Did nobody go to jail? I feel like there's a little problem.
And they was trying to promote me to be a manager.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Sad times. But, God put me in that position because when I was there, I used to always sing all
Yeah.
the time. And there was this woman. She was like, "Let me just tell you something. Like, you're doing God a disservice with that voice.
Oh,
He ain't give
wow.
you that voice to be up in here, like, talking about movies and stuff."
Yeah.
And I say, you are motherfucking right. I don't want to curse in the
No,
presence of the
you're
Lord.
good.
No, I was telling her I don't want to curse because she was a woman of
Yeah,
God. But
yeah,
I said,
yeah.
you motherfucking right. And I
Yeah.
took my little uniform. It was very dramatic and threw the name tag up. They're like, "Where are you going?" Because I remember the manager. I couldn't stand him. His name was Howard. He said, "Where are you going, Red?"
Red. That was it.
Yeah, I said, "I goddamn quit." I'm Florida, so I had to, I goddamn quit. You gonna be working here till you die.
Oh my gosh. Well, and then he worked there until Blockbuster died. But
Exactly. Oh man, that man gave me hell. I feel like a lot of people who are like just all they could see for themselves is being a product of corporate America.
yeah.
When they see like young talent, they almost want to like really defeat you so you stay in that infrastructure.
Oh, don't tap dance to my sermon. I ain't got time for that. Jesus. Okay.
And it was
yes.
just like I just constantly there was and I'm not that as Gemini's.
Yeah.
You can only approach us with love. If you approach us with friction, we're going to give you fire.
Man, a hailstorm about to burn it up.
Yeah, so we didn't click at all.
Yeah.
I used to call them all types of names.
Oh.
I wasn't supposed to be working there.
Well, I'm
anyway.
curious. Did you have like a nickname for him, like a really mean nickname for him?
I cannot say it on this thing.
Oh Jesus! What
Oh,
did he
yeah,
call
it
his
wasn't
man?
that.
Lord, what did he call his man? Oh my Lord! Okay, well we'll move past. And when you think about it, going from Blockbuster to the studio, being a teenager, I feel like that had to mature you a little faster. Being in the industry, what were some of the challenges you experienced early on?
Now seeing how everybody kind of starts young, if you think about when Beyonce started, Britney Spears and Chris Brown and even Michael Jackson, your innocence is robbed. Like they don't even see you as a child. Like now I look back and I try to have empathy for that version of myself, but even I've been so hard on that person for so long. Just because you're competing in a field against adults, like they're not really thinking about age. You just gotta figure it out and get it right the first time, or you're not talented, or you're not a star, or all these things. So I look back at that kid and I'm just like, damn, like you really are a fighter, like you're a warrior, like you really you had grown-ups, master manipulators, like people who you went up against like the most intelligent and the most ruthless people in a very unforgiving profession, and you're still standing, and you put up a formidable, and you're still holding your own. So I look at that like that. Yeah, I definitely think my innocence was robbed, but it made me more of the person I am today, like the warrior I am today.
Were you looked upon as a product versus a teenager or a child, or
Still am.
Still am.
Still am. I often feel like when an artist speaks, people forget that we're human.
They do.
I think that sometimes if I get like left off of an email, I'm like, hey, like I just want to know. Like it's not that I'm like trying to do y'all job for y'all, but like you just want to know what's happening with your life. Like if somebody's telling you, like imagine, right? Like if somebody was like, at this time you got to take a shower and then you got to go to the gym at 2 p.m. and if you're like, well, I actually like to take showers before I get my day started. Like, well, no, you must not want it bad enough. It's like, what does that got to do with anything?
Yeah.
But I just feel like I'm reminded every day that the profession I'm in sees me as a product and not a human being. It's like I should have a barcode on the back of my neck.
Oh, the mental strain and I could not imagine how.
I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but there's nothing else that serves me in that way. Like I'd be hurting myself. They say don't cut off your finger to spite your hand.
Yeah.
So I love music. It's my love language. Nothing gets me excited in conversation the way the music does. I don't do anything else as well as I do music. That is my gift. That is my superpower. But you often wonder. I've had this conversation with Keisha Cole. I'm just kind of like, she's so good at like singing about heartbreak, and she's so good with writing about heartbreak.
Yeah.
And we were talking. I was like, like look at Whitney Houston, loved by the world. Some could say she died alone. Michael Jackson, loved by the world. Some could say he died alone.
Mm-hmm.
Prince, loved by the world. Some could say he died alone. Is that the cost? Is that God saying, well, I'm going to put these songs in you to heal the world because I know you have the dexterity to withhold and push through.
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately you might not ever receive the love that you give to the world in return. And she was like, "You got me, you got me fucked up."
Yeah.
And I feel that way too. But I'm often reminded, as we lose another great, and then we lose another great, it does seem like a harsh reality. Like, you get all these amazing things, you get the house you want, you get the car you want, you get to live this amazing life, but you probably most likely 99% of the time might die alone.
Well, that makes me ask you, if you had to separate the two, Elijah Blake and I think Sean Fenton, right?
Well, come on now, you're gonna they're gonna Google me.
I'm sorry. It's the deepness of me. I love to do very deep questions. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry. So if you're not ready for tears, you should be. How do you separate the two, and who are the two? Is one like this thing, one like the other thing? What is the line between them?
Being a Gemini, I see it differently, and I think I can have this conversation with you because you're a fellow Gemini. But it's not a separation, but more of a different layer. I think when you peel back a lot of those layers, you get Sean. You get I'm an extreme of every emotion. Like, so I'm either really, really happy, or I'm like really, really, really mad.
Oh my gosh, I get that so much.
You know what I mean? Or I'm really, really zen, or I'm really, really sad. I don't really get sad that much. Lately, I've been getting sad because I think when you start holding people accountable and yourself accountable in ways that you've maybe hurt others and they've hurt you, in reciprocity and all these things. And when you start doing the work, it makes you sadder. That's why nobody wants to do the work, because you got to hold yourself accountable. But yeah, I'm usually like just either really, really happy, or so there's different layers. But as an artist, I noticed that the songs I write are much deeper than I am as a person. If that makes sense? Like me, I'm more of a big kid. X-Men, I was watching X-Men last night. But then people meet me and they expect me to be like very like kunta and like, you know what I mean? But that is the place. Enlightened, yeah. And I am. That's how I process it, but that's not how I necessarily I don't necessarily accept that about my reality.
Yeah.
But when I go to write songs, that's the voice that speaks to me. That's the person that wants to be heard. That's the part of me. And I think maybe that's the part of me I don't share with people. Naturally, when I create when I feel safe, that person, that part of my Gemini, that layer is like, oh, I can come out and play now. You've been ignoring me, speaking to me. These people haven't seen me. These people, your mother, your family, they haven't heard me. Let me speak. So naturally, when I get into a safe space and I go to write and I go to sing, that's the character that often speaks.
No, I get that. I think that's why I meshed with you as a Gemini, because I'm the same way. There's these different ways that I am, because that's what speaks to me. That's what I am.
Yeah.
But when I'm at home, like last night, I was watching anime, and nobody knows that side of me. They're like, "She does anime? What?" I'm like, "Just a little bit. It's just a little bit."
Twin, where have you been? Oh my God, you're really like saying the story of my life.
And it's weird because people they'll hear me on the radio, or they see me and they'll think, okay, she must like nails and hair and makeup and this and that. I do.
Yeah.
But I'm also a swimmer. I also love athletic things. I also go into nature. I'm also an anime person too. Yeah. So, there's different layers of me, but I have to set boundaries.
Come on.
When it comes to how much I give you, how much I allow you to see, there has to be a boundary, a line where I have to say, no, this one I have to kind of keep for me. Yeah. But I can give you everything else. Yeah. And that's okay.
And Geminis, we only give you what we want to give you.
What we want to give you.
So then people will see us give certain people a certain type of energy. Like, why don't I get that? Well, you haven't earned that.
You haven't earned it.
And like certain times, and I think that that's a big disservice, because I've known Wardell for like since the beginning of my career.
Yeah.
And although he's like my A&R and executive producer and so many other things, he's literally like one of my best friends in the world. So oftentimes people who only know him as an executive at BMI, they see how I handle him and how close we are. And they're like, well, you're not that cool with me. And it's just like, when y'all clock out, he's giving me life advice.
Yeah.
he's praying for me. I'm praying for him and his family, and I'm giving him relationship advice. He's giving me relationship advice, and like, Wardell's had to like pull me up off of people before, like from like punching them. Like this is my brother.
Real, the friendship.
Oh
It gets
yeah,
real.
like Wardell is like broke up a couple fights because people don't know this about me. They do not know this about Elijah Blake, but the deep music industry knows. They'll be like, leave him alone because he will like. But I will cuss you out, like clean out, and like will really make you rethink. Like I'm working on that side of me because now I'm learning that words hurt more than, and just because somebody's mean to you, you think, like you ever see somebody just take pride in being mean and rude.
Yeah.
And I was like that in school. I never really, anytime I fought, I was fighting the bully. Mm-hmm. Like if somebody tried to bully somebody that was handicapped or like ESL or something like that, that's when I would fight.
Twin, where have you been?
Like, yeah, you know what I mean?
This is funny.
So anytime somebody tries to be a bully, then this part of me, the monster comes out.
Yeah.
And that person, I'm scared of that person because he's full Haitian, he's fully Caribbean. Like, don't let him have a machete.
Yeah.
He's gonna grab a weapon and he might go to jail. I haven't gone to jail yet, not for the lack of trying, but
that's a blessing. That is something. When I think about that every day, like the fact that my mom does not need bail money today, it's just like, wow, we're doing good things.
Yeah, there's definitely circumstances I should have been locked up. Yeah. For sure. If it had not been for the Lord on my side, tell me where.
The Lord will
tell
push
me
it.
Where would I be?
Well, like, and by the way, the notes. When I tell y'all, every piece that he sings, I'm probably going to put in different parts of the show, different out the episode. So just don't worry about it. We're gonna give you more music because it's authentic and it's beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
I'm curious though, like for me, when it came to my anger and dealing with that, I didn't get a handle on it. I'm still dealing with it, but I didn't really get a handle until I became an adult. Yeah. I'm wondering, how did you control that, dealing with the industry so young, or not so young, but being a teenager? Yeah. How did you combat with that? Because they saw you as a product. Yeah. They didn't really care, so they would speak to you sometimes any other way.
Really, I don't go nowhere no more. I go home. I don't give people, because I'm like, that's too much power until I get this thing sorted out with me, like that. There's this trigger. It literally scares me to think about it. Once you hit that trigger, there is no consequence. Great. I feel like if you can, because I think I lead in love. I would like to think so, and my intentions are always pure. So if somebody can do that to me, I'm just like, oh, like it's like eliminate target on site, and I don't think about it. And to me, I need to really deal with that before I can be around people who would naturally. Because have you noticed, like, if you've ever been in a relationship or a friendship or somebody that really knows you, especially family, right? Yeah. And they'll know, or you'll confide in them, like, hey, like, this is like a problem I have, and when y'all get mad, like they go right for that, like, button.
They go for the juggler.
You know what I mean? To bring out that side of you. Yeah. And to me, anybody who that's their go-to is the most dangerous person in the world, because now you're awakening something in me that I'm still trying to control, and I've confided in you about it. Yeah. So I really don't go nowhere. I go to the studio and then I go home, and I go to the gym. Yeah. And then I come, if I'm doing press or anything. This water do not like me.
You're good.
Yeah, I don't go nowhere because people are hurt and they're looking for company. They're looking for someone to share that misery with, and they're looking to, if you even look on social media, like there's a post right now that's kind of like, I would say kind of going viral for Ghostbusters. Mm-hmm. Like it was like at maybe like 10,000 last night, and it's like at 4 million right now. Mm-hmm. And all the comments are positive for the first time. That don't have it with artists.
They don't have a lot.
All the comments. So then, like, it's, everybody. There's always that one person in the midst of like 500 people saying, "Oh, nice, this is good. I like this spoke to me." There's always that one person to be like, "Whack." You know what I mean? But it's like, if it's whack, why not say why? Yeah. When you do stuff like that, it's like you just, oh my God, please see me. And that's a very hurt individual. Yeah. So people like that, I don't want around me, because me and my friends and my family, my mother told me every morning how much she loved me. She told me every morning that she thought I was a king, and that's why I carry myself a certain type of way. People are like, you think you all that? It's like, no, my mother really did her job to instill these things in me. my grandmother, if I walked out the house, she'd be like, put some form about yourself. In Caribbean culture, that just means like fix your posture,
Mm-hmm.
because people will treat you a certain type of way. Like the way people like assess you and like break you down so they can manipulate you before you even open your mouth, before you've even shook their hands, is insane when you really get to the bottom of it. And these are the values that my family, my mother and my grandmother instilled in me that I carry with me to this day.
Let's talk about the family. Did the family, your mom, and she's very important to you. I think
Very.
I remember seeing on Instagram, I guess a phone call that
Yeah.
she had with you, how much she sees herself
Yeah.
in you.
Yeah.
How does she feel you go into the industry and then seeing who you are now?
Yeah.
What was her mindset? My son's an artist.
She didn't, she's a Caribbean woman. So,
Yeah.
like, you tell a Caribbean woman, whether you're Jamaican, Dominican, Haitian, Trinidadian, that you're going to come to the United States and do anything outside of being a doctor, lawyer, or engineer,
Right.
you have failed. And then, get out of my house.
Get out.
Get out of my house. Get your ass out of my house. So she definitely was like, when I was like, okay, Atlanta, I think Atlantic about to sign me and I'm moving to Atlanta. She was like, what? Bring your ass back here and go to college. The church is laughing at me. Then I paid off her mortgage. So she was
And
like,
then it was quiet.
she had a little time. Like she was like, but she still was side-eyeing me. Oh, and then I
Yeah.
got the tattoos and she just knew I was damned to eternal damnation.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, like, and then, but it wasn't till I had a show in Atlanta.
Yeah.
It was sold out.
Of course.
Aw. It still surprises me with those things. And my sisters surprised me. They bought my mom a ticket. They got her hair done and they flew her in. And so imagine, right? You're only hearing about your son doing music, but you come to this sold out show and he doesn't have an opener. It's just literally him. Or did I have an opener? But it was just me. And she, they got a really good seats. But she paid. I didn't know that she was coming. But literally, like, when she came, she was like, you came out of my belly? She like she couldn't process it. She was like, what? These people came out, put on their best stuff to come and hear you sing? Like, me? Because I wasn't born here. You know what I mean? Like, and she wasn't, obviously. So imagine what I've accomplished in terms of the American dream. Now, put that in perspective with like somebody who's born in a third world country and their family. Like my mother always says, like, she's always like, what do you got to be sad about? I walk 6 miles to and from school every day. Like, why are you complaining, And it might sound harsh to somebody else, but that's her reality. And that, like, really showed me, like, I really have to do everything to, like, she quit her job the other day. And so I told her, like, she told me, like, she's a nurse and she works at hospice. And a lot of times some of those people are dying and they're really mean. At first, when I first got my deal, I wanted her to quit. And she was like, no, I feel like the moment I stop moving, and then that's, there's only one result that comes from that. But I was like, if them white people get to talking to you crazy, like leave. Like I don't want that on my conscience, because they'll try to like hit you, and it gets really crazy in them situations.
Yeah, I get you.
So she called me a week ago, and she was like, yeah, I don't know what they called her or what, I guess we can imagine, but she quit. So y'all got to stream this song. Because I told her that 3 years ago. I didn't think she was going to collect right now. Like,
she ready.
I had plans.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but it was my word, so she quit. So, and that's on me.
But it's amazing to be able to, your mom, what she saw, what she went through, and her grow up to be like, Mom, I got you.
Yeah, she had me at like 21. Like, to do that and not give me up and not to, and she made it. I don't want to say she made it look easy, but she never complained. So when I go to complain or I see people complain, it's just like, and she had 4 kids.
You can't complain.
Yeah. I won't complain.
And now we're married. I can't with Elijah today. I can't. Well,
I was married now.
But it's funny to me. Like, I think about the things that my family went through, and you take it back and you look at your life, and it gets hard. It gets tough. But when you look at what they've been through, you're like, wait, this ain't that bad. No. I can make it. Yeah. And now you're actually inspiration to not just someone looking for the American dream, but going after their own dream.
Say that.
That is inspiring. And how do you feel now being this representative? You can make it. If I did it and followed my path, my passion, my journey, didn't look at somebody else's and said, I can copy and paste. No, you created your own lane and did it.
Yeah.
How does that feel being that person for someone?
I just would encourage everybody to just like I just want to say like the worst thing you can do is do it someone else's way.
Mm-hmm.
You get one shot at this thing called life. So you better follow that sword on your own terms, because there's no worse feeling than having your gut intuition or like that part of you, like, or sometimes God speaking to you and
Ooh.
nobody else can hear it
Ooh.
and they looking at you crazy, and then you're like abandoning the voice of God, right?
Yeah.
That's like what I think intuition is. And they'll make artists feel so crazy, but it's just like a lot of times when those moments happen, that's an artist saying, I just my every fiber of my being is telling me to do this. And I, like Marvin Gaye, right? You look at Barry Gordy saying like, if you put this album out, it's career suicide,
Mm-hmm.
and he put out What's Going On, and it's the best album of his career. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it moved, it shook the world, and no one heard that, but no one saw it but him. He was willing to bet it all. Thank God it repaid, but like, you want to you as an artist, just as a person with a dream, you want to place those dreams in safe spaces. Like, if you, everybody's like, what do you think is going to be so different this go around for you? This go around, I would say my cabinet
Mm-hmm.
is all people I would trust with my life outside of the music industry.
Okay.
So my ideas are safer. They go further. They might not go all the way, every single one, but they definitely, even in some of the wars, you have like with the music industry, DSPs, labels, and stuff.
Mm.
My ideas are going way further. There was some of the before they were getting smacked out the way before I could even say it out loud.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm protected internally with my team, and so I would just encourage people to surround themselves with people who speak life over themselves, over them, and over their dreams, and pay attention to those people who like joke about things that you're passionate about, and make underhanded comments, or just somebody who just does not believe and lacks the ability to see it the way you do. It says avoid one of the 48 laws of power says avoid the unlucky and the unhappy by all means, because that's like, okay, imagine if you're in a relationship, right, and you're with a guy who just doesn't believe in you, he doesn't see the magic, and you roll over and you're like, baby, I got this idea for a company called Amazon. If that man wakes up and looks over and says, Ebony, be quiet, like that'll never happen. You might really be like, yeah, he's right, and go back to sleep.
Yeah, you
and then
are,
Amazon
yeah.
will never. But then you could be the same woman who wakes up and say, oh, baby, I got this idea called, Fashion Nova, and this is how it's going to be. And he'd be like, damn, baby, like you could really do that. That's going to be, you have a chance now.
Yeah.
Because somebody spoke. Like, the first person you go to with your ideas is like the most important person in your life.
I swear, and this is where I get the insightful Elijah, and I'm just excited about. I'm excited about all sides of you, but it's so good to get that knowledge. And you've always been someone that spoke on the realness of the industry and spoke on the realness of life in itself.
I made a lot of enemies that way.
Yeah, and that's and going to that, you talked about in different interviews how you love Prince and his duality, but what I love about you in comparison to Prince is the no bullshit approach.
Thank you.
I'm gonna tell y'all what's really going on and what's happening all sides of the industry. Let's talk about the songwriter and the singer.
Yeah.
What is the normal relationship? Because it seems like the respect that gets lost sometimes between two, or one for the other.
You're saying it.
Let's talk about that. What was your instances and what happens?
So my whole career, I let the industry brainwash me into thinking that I had to choose.
Mm-hmm.
And my storytelling, and not just pen to paper, but how I evoke the emotion in the song, in the message that I write, and how I sing it, whether it's my riffs and my runs and the church influences and the high notes. And I'm such a 90s baby. Like, I love my dad calls them glory notes, where you just hold it like, yeah.
Oh, I love
those. Like, that's me. Everything at the end of Ghostbusters is such like the 90s kid that loves Jesse Powell and like Brian McKnight and Boyz II Men, because like, what the fuck am I doing up there holding that note like that? And I'll tell you, that song is a bitch to sing live. Oh my god! Like,
you did a great job though in New York.
Thank you.
It was a good one.
It was 7 a.m. It was a little. You know what? So the devil was busy because I woke up early. I did my warm ups, and I had this steamer that Rihanna uses, or like they had at Rock Nation one time, and I was like talking to Omar. I was like, "What's this?" He was like, "Oh, it's like this vocal steamer." He's like, "You want one?" So they got me one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if Rihanna uses it, she's
It's
technically
gonna
got
be
to
good.
bring out
Yeah.
music. So it wasn't working that morning. So, but luckily I did my warm ups and I did the first run through perfect. Like, didn't miss a note. And I was like, thank you,
Oh
Jesus.
wow. Yeah.
And they're like, oh, that was just like the sound check. Let's do it
Son
again.
of a.
So, but while that happens, the steamer starts going off because it was still plugged in. So the steam. So I'm like, ooh, if I sounded that good without it, let me put the steamer.
Yeah.
I forgot you're not supposed to steam within like 30 minutes before you sing because now your voice is sliding all over the place. So yeah, like there's certain parts of it I'm like, why? Because if you look when the first song, I'm like, oh, what, July? Like, my voice was like, yeah, nigga.
It still sounded great though.
Thank you. I just needed to get that big note out, and when I said, God, the same
Help
God
me.
today, I've seen what you've done for others. I played God, but forget, don't hit me too hard. So when I opened my arms to go, I got it again, and that note came out.
Yeah.
If you watch the video, it's so funny because my hands go like this.
That was you giving it to God.
Like, you don't owe me nothing but this big note, God. That's I got it again, yo.
Oh my God.
And I held that motherfucker till I got lightheaded. That's all people care about is the high note.
Nothing else but the high note. And I love it because, the lyrics and the melodies are great, but sometimes it's just those melodies and lyrics, like that one little part that you say, people keep in their head over and over again.
Yeah.
And unfortunately.
Thank God. I was like, Lord, if you don't do nothing else, let this note come out. Because, and then, because I wanted, and my voice is acting up the day before, it's morning, it's freezing, and, everybody on my team was like, nah, that's the first time you sing a song. You can't be the one to drop the key and then you run from the bridge. Like, you gotta, just for the people who really appreciate like how you're saying,
Yeah.
like they're watching to see, are you gonna do the note? You know what I mean? So now I gotta do the note no more. Y'all got that one on Good Day New York? Next time y'all want me to do the note, like another platform, book me first. BT Awards, where y'all at?
Where y'all at?
I might do the note for BT Awards.
And you will. You want to make sure the steamer is real set.
Far away from me.
Not far.
I don't even need it no more.
Don't even worry about it. Don't worry
Somebody
about
come to me with it. I'm going to karate chop that joint. Like,
but it's funny because, like I said to you before, it's like perfection every time I hear you. It's
Thank
just
you.
great. And when I think about the songwriter that you are and the singer that you are, I just can't understand how you can just do both so well. I mean,
thank you. That is my artistry. And like I said, when I was at Def Jam, I was kind of like, you would have thought my ability to tell stories well in my songwriting, I like killed somebody. The only question, was the music good? It was never what was that did the culture feel me? It was always like, is he a songwriter or is he an artist? And I was so young, I let that question like permeate in my mind, and like, but then I said, okay, well, I can't be the first person to be dealing with this. So I said, okay, I made a list. No idea was like, make a list of your favorite artists. And I made a list, and it was Prince, singer-songwriter. Lauryn Hill, singer-songwriter. Stevie Wonder, singer-songwriter. Donny Hathaway, singer-songwriter. So I was like, what? Like, that is the art.
Yeah.
My gift is storytelling. Maybe I'm not an artist that you get Neo and Dream to send me a song. I'm not saying that that's less of an art because putting your voice on it.
Okay.
But mine is singing it in a way that you knew I went through it, and those are my words. This is my life. So I can't believe that's one of those things. But you live and you learn. But what you're gonna hear with this new album and in this new music is me actually owning it now for the first time. And I wish somebody would ask me that question now.
Well, do you feel like it's just the trajectory of music? Because nowadays music is losing that organic, like, this is an artist, this is someone that is singing, they're writing, they're producing, they're doing everything in that studio with the engineer and everything, and putting the craft behind it versus
can I share something with you? I feel like after the Quentin Miller thing with the whole when Meek Mill and the Drake and that happened, and then there was this whole conversation about ghostwriters. Believe it or not, like, no one would have expected, but that bled into like R&B and pop, right? Because so now there's this whole thing of like, oh, no ghostwriters. So there's this, it's kind of frowned upon if like you sing songs and you're not a part of the storytelling. So now it's like widely accepted, like my biggest curse, right? Like now people don't even want to listen. I was playing a song for like my 5-year-old goddaughter, and like literally on and she goes on Spotify and like goes to look if the person wrote it. And I was just like,
Oh,
oh, it's like gotten to the kids now.
yeah. Yeah.
So like, yeah, now people, I guess within the world of so much computers and algorithms and everything's so manufactured, they want to feel like, why should I believe that? So now it's actually encouraged. If you look at what's winning in the climate, SZA,
Yeah.
Taylor Swift, and it is that we are in the age of Victoria Monet, like singer songwriters.
It's here.
You know what I mean? But that was, you could ask any of them. Money Long, especially, we've had conversations about this. That was you. You would it would we would show up to the jury to be hung. Like,
Yeah.
and your crime today is that you have been accused of being an amazing songwriter. And you are being dropped from your label today. You shall not get a release date. Throw them in the fire, those Pinsmith, those lyricists. They're all evil, witchcraft and sorcery.
God bless us. I can't with this voice.
But that's what it literally, every time. One day I just asked No Idea, I was like, but did they say the music wasn't good? He's like, oh no, they said the music's amazing.
Oh, and
What are we
what
talking
we
about? What are we talking about?
Yeah.
Like, even now, like, oh, Instagram, and I'm just like, I'm so sorry. It's hard to compute that for my blood, sweat, and tears, literally blood, sweat, and tears
Yeah.
into this music. And you're not, the conversation is that the music ain't good. The conversation is that if it doesn't go viral on TikTok, then we don't know what to do. If it doesn't go viral on, like, are we serious? Like, we have created an environment where Michael wouldn't even have, like, what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, Whitney Houston, she not doing the little Jersey thing. So then how was y'all gonna make that connect? How was y'all gonna make Saving All My Love for You connect? That's not a TikTok song.
It's definitely not.
Right?
Yeah.
How was y'all gonna make Vision of Love pop off on Instagram? Mariah don't even post now and she's Mariah Carey. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what a sad, like, the gatekeepers have let the artists down. They have let the craft down. And I guess this is their karma. But I think it's unfortunate that the artists have to suffer because we make a living off this, and this is how we feed our families. This is how we feed ourselves. So that's what this music is like. I made it like it's like the antithesis to this. It's like, all right, cool, bet. If I'm going down, like we said, Gemini's, we're gonna burn it.
You're gonna burn it down.
All live horns, all live strings, all live. Now recreate that with AI.
Yeah,
I'd like to say that's what this project is. Is basically me swinging my sword at this whole thing of, it's just like the Matrix or the Terminator coming to take over music, and everybody just sitting back is like, yeah, let's do what they say. And the end of music is coming. Let's make it happen faster. My mind is blown with these niggas, like, and they're not even niggas, but yeah.
That's the funny part about it all.
But actually, no, they are niggas, because nigga means an ignorant person. So let's give it back its true meaning.
You're right. Yeah. Come on. Don't do it because I will run. Okay, don't do it. I will run.
Yeah,
but you're absolutely right. And you know, when you think about, it's not just about the industry and where you started, but even in you know, writing for Usher, writing for Justin Bieber, writing for Keisha Cole, writing for a bunch of artists, you were being very open and aware of everything that you had to deal with in those rooms or in the industry in itself. So let me ask you this: what caused you? Because you know you had to take this little, I call it a sabbatical, but you took this break for a second. What was this break? Was it because of all that you saw in the industry and the previous years and time in it, working with so many different people and discovering yourself and finding self, or what was the need for it and what happened in this break?
I had to realize that there is no Santa Claus. There is no, you know what I mean? Like, it's not happening. Like, there's the days of L.A. Reid discovering Toni Braxton in the grocery store and putting everything behind her to make sure that Toni Braxton becomes Toni Braxton. The days of Clive Davis saying, y'all better make sure this. I heard a story about the other day that they were trying to break an Alicia Keys record, and the whole label was like, no, this should be the single. This should be the single. And everybody's fighting. And Clive Davis was like, enough. Like, I want this to be the single, and y'all better make it go or everybody's fired. Like, there's not who do we have that's willing to say, just stand 10 toes down on making sure a record is a hit, making sure it gets to the people. You guys are putting artists in, not you guys, I'm talking about the music industry, are putting people in a position where you're judging a song before the people even get to judge the song. Like, you're letting computers and like data which the data is based off of the lack of people hearing it, to say that, like, perfect example, Ghostbusters has been out since March.
Mhm.
It just I did a post that was like maybe at 10,000 last night, but now it's at
Like 2 million or something like that.
4 million
Four
now.
million, yeah,
But if you look at all the comments,
yeah.
those people are hearing it for the first time.
Wow.
So how is that fair to the song? And that's a month ago, and like they're almost 2 months, but like people are seeing now, if the song doesn't go crazy or get like a crazy playlisting on the DSP within a week or two, they ready to move on to the next single.
Mhm.
Where people would work records for a year, you know what I mean, and they would, some of our favorite songs, they worked that record for 9 months. I've heard DJs be like, we lost the record and went back and got the record, because there's a decision that this is a special song, we have to get it in front of people, and then people are like, oh, I like this song, and now, let me hear it again, let me play it again. But everything is just so if you handle something like it's not special, people will receive it as such, and that's
That's
what
true.
the music industry is going through now.
Mm. Well, I'm happy that you're here. You're on the front, and you're still pushing the narrative of telling the truth. And that's why I like listening to artists like you. You know,
Yeah.
people need to understand that the song is
Oh,
good.
I didn't answer. I kind of didn't. I got so passionate about it. I didn't
It's
get a
okay.
chance to answer. So for me, I had to just like remind myself, like, yo, I had to reprogram, get out of my deal,
Yeah.
which was, it was. I just was talking about this earlier, but it was like amazing to me how hard it was to get out of that deal. When I first got signed, my biggest fear was getting dropped. So I never imagined that when I was like, okay, like, it didn't work. Like, I'm not mad. Like, y'all tried. I feel like I tried, but let me just take, back control of my career. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, okay, you ain't making us no money anyway.
Whatever.
And it wasn't that. It was
Yeah.
just like so hard to get out of that deal. And I guess maybe at the time they felt like we've invested so much in you that it's starting to connect. Well, we figured it out, but now there's no trust. So yeah, kind of, this is my life. Like, you can always try to find another artist or the next big thing, as they like to say. But I only got me. So, but I knew that I made a promise to God, like, if I was to get out of there, I would never repeat the same mistake. So indie, and there's different versions of indie. There's like major indie, there's partnerships indie, and what I have now is a partnership with a major indie, but they have no say so in the music and the songwriting and the storytelling. It's really a partnership. It's like, okay, how can we make this? How can we maximize like the reach of this record? So that's what I just was kind of getting my head wrapped around, like, for a second, when I just took a break. I just didn't want to run 100 miles in the wrong direction.
And that's good that you didn't go into the wrong direction. I feel like at some point, so a lot of artists or just people in general, when they take a break from their passion or love, or just to just find themselves, re-cleanse or whatever, they kind of get lost and end up losing sight of what they really want to do,
Yeah.
or trying to really take that time to breathe in. They're like, you know what? Forget breathe in, breathe out. Let's just say goodbye. So,
It can be depressing. I'm not somebody who struggles with depression. It's actually hard to it's a hard concept to grasp. But
yeah.
around that time, I saw what it takes, like how somebody can get there, because people a lot of things. I'm about to give free game. People don't realize, like, when you sign a record deal, you sign over your likeness. So yeah, you can't just. Whereas, like, I thought, okay, I'm in between deals, I can just upload songs on my SoundCloud just to express myself, because I always have to be in a constant state of creation to feel alive. Like, that's just how an artist is. And I felt like, okay, let me just upload songs to my SoundCloud, and it would say, this thing has been removed, property of Universal. Like, just a reminder.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
are a property
You are a property.
to this company, and no, you can't just do this. Even if it's on SoundCloud where you ain't making no money, we said no. You want to put it up on YouTube, we said no.
Yeah.
So it just was like, I just felt I never felt helpless before. Like, I'm somebody like, oh no, we're gonna figure this out. Like, oh, I can't go this way, I'm gonna go this way and go
Yeah.
around. But that was one of the moments I'm just kind of like, damn, like, what can you do? I can't put up covers, I can't do nothing. Like, they literally own my. I don't own my likeness, they own my likeness. So that was a little jarring for me. That was right before Audiology.
That's why I get kind of mad at artists, or not the new artists that are trying to get out here and they don't read the contract, or they don't really understand the industry all too well. Because I'm like, don't take that first paycheck, don't take that first gain. You think that you're getting so much. Oh, he said I'm gonna get immediately $500,000. I'm gonna go ahead and take it. But did you read the fine
Yeah.
print of what you're also losing?
And these people, they need to stop lying. So we know, and Wardell can vouch for me, when somebody said they got a $6 million deal, they did not get that liquid. They did not. They got $100,000 up front.
Yep.
Maybe a $1.5 million guarantee towards radio.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's for like 5 records, singles that you got to do. That's not money in your pocket.
Yeah.
Maybe another $2 million for marketing, but that's in the budget. That's not in your pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Then another $3 million for something else. So when they going out and buying these chains, they literally spent the whole amount that they got on these cars liquid. Because playing that MDRC game, luckily they're taking that out of people's contracts, or even like that's how they end up going on drugs and being homeless because. Yeah. When they tell you that back end, that means delivered. That means not that you turned those other, like half the song, that project into the label. That's saying all the splits are done. All the producers have agreed. Please, people can't even agree who won between Kendrick and Drake. Like, good luck. I was able to get it done with this project because I produced heavily on this project and I only worked with people who I love and I know.
Yeah.
And even then, it's still kind of hard. But like, these niggas ain't turning in their deliverables. Like they can't even clear features. So you're playing a very dangerous game when and then they're inspiring other artists. Oh, I'm gonna go sign the Interscope because they gave such and such an $8 million deal. How much did they get liquid?
Yeah, that's the question.
You know what I mean? The other, they could literally get. It could be a deal as simple as they probably got 60,000 and the other 900,000 and 40 is. If the project under these contingencies, but they just see that number and they want to show up in cloud and show out. Oh, this is what I got. And it's just like a numbers game, and then the spiral continues to motivate another kid to sign their life away.
I swear at this point, are you gonna do a TED Talk?
I don't want to.
Why?
There's no hope. They are lost people. You ever be talking to somebody and be like, "Why am I arguing with you?"
At some point, you're like, you know what? I'm insane.
Yeah, because your mind made up.
Your mind is made up. So
I'm crazy for trying to change your mind. Yeah,
it's me. Let me go ahead and take it back. Don't worry about it.
I'm walking in the season of bet. I promise you, you got it. People shooting people in traffic.
Yep.
It don't matter how good you can fight. You're not gonna beat a bullet. So for me, it's not that deep. I'm not fighting with you over a parking spot. I used to be that person. Like you're just not gonna play with me. You're not gonna play with me. You're not gonna play in my face. But if it's not gonna matter in 5 minutes, why am I gonna have a shootout with you? And I like, you know what I mean? Like on La Brea, like we're not doing that.
We're not doing that. It's not worth my time. So it's whatever. But I love Elijah Blake so much, and I'm so happy to have you back out here doing your thing. Now, tell me this new project. We got into a little bit.
Okay.
Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
I love it.
Do you love it?
I love it. I can't get you out of my head. I really can't. And it was crazy is, like Sky Blue, what pissed me off so much. I kept hearing the chorus over and over and over. And now I hear, I can't get you out of my head. Don't get me to sing.
Sing it. Let me hear it.
I'm not doing that. We're not.
Out of my head, out of my brain. Finish it.
I'm not doing that.
Why?
Because we're not. This is not me singing. This is you singing. But it got stuck in my head so much, and then when I looked at the visuals of everything, I don't know who it was in the video. Who was it? You in the video? Someone was in the video, and they was telling you about the look that you got to go for.
Oh, that was Joshua Simmons, a good friend of mine who's highly respected in fashion.
Okay, I couldn't figure out who it was, and he was like the bushy hair. Give her the bushy hair, and I was listening. I was like. Yeah, he's right. Do the bushy hair. Do it. I'm actually kind of mad you don't have it today because I was like, oh, I'm going to out bushy hair him today.
You out bushied me.
Out bushy you.
But so and that's the thing. Is like I wish I was an artist in the 70s because there was so much room for. But people don't understand that to do that is very expensive because you got to blow dry. It's a lot of things, and then it was raining. So thank God.
That she was able to.
Yeah, that thing's it'll tighten right back up, and we ain't gonna have no fun.
No fun at all.
I'm gonna walk up in here looking like Florida Evans.
Damn.
Jay. Ebony.
I love it. But the look was great. It goes with the song. I mean, the song speaks
I just wanted to merge those two worlds together like Prince. Yeah, and show you what the music should look like. I know you guys hear but this is how I wanted to be presented in Saint Laurent and in Celine
Yeah.
and seeing black excellence in that way, like all the brands that have historically kind of not really rocked with us always, but
Mhm.
are now making an effort to say, oh, you know what, like I like this kid. Like, I don't know the last time I saw Celine partner with a R&B artist, especially a black boy.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I thought that there are certain nuances in that video. That's why my trauma shows up to judge me at the end in black Met Gala fashion.
Mm.
Because that's how your trauma shows up. It dresses up really nice as beautiful insecurities, but they're really dangerous.
They're dangerous.
So yeah.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there's these three things that popped up in my head when I listened to the song.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna look at my notes real quick as I do. Do me a favor and come forward this way a little more. Come towards me a little bit more. We're gonna make sure to get you all the way in this camera.
Yeah,
there we go.
Okay,
perfect. All right, three things popped up to me. It was repeating trauma, causing insanity,
okay,
and then fighting your way out.
Come on.
You
hit it, and it really talks about that place in your mind, that dark place in your mind, that all those traumas that you stated, they hide, they find shelter in that space, and it's so easy for us to go there to seek validation.
Mm-hmm.
Things that your mom did to you, things that your brother did to you, your church did to you, and when we act out and we lash out, we use those things to justify. But sometimes it's just as simple as like cleaning out the cabinets. And saying, I'm not going to even let this thing take up space in my mind, in my life anymore. I'm not going to let these thoughts permeate anymore. And that's what that video was about. And it's just kind of like the house was just like that haunted space in your mind where those things, they peek at you and you're like, did I see that? Am I tripping? Is this happening? So that's what that was.
I get scared confronting my trauma, confronting the things that I want to, because I think it's helpful. And I want to bury and put in a closet. It's hard trying to confront it, whether it's in a relationship within your partner or your family. It's just a terrifying step to do, but a needed step in order to overcome.
Have to. That's why there's so many broken people in the world, because they don't want to do the work. They want the world to do the work for them. We all do.
Yeah.
We all do, actually. But it takes, even you saying that out loud, it's just like 60% of the job.
It is.
Because you're acknowledging ways that but with Instagram and social media, everybody got to be perfect at all times. And I just, I be watching people like weaponize memes. It's like, what they did to you, they gonna pay. But what if you're the they? So you sending this meme
there we go.
Oh, yeah. You sending this meme as a jab or subliminal to somebody, and they sending it back at you. So which one is wrong?
Yeah.
The way we weaponize these things, it will do anything but hold ourselves accountable. That's why I said this project is really me holding myself accountable, and all of my shame and all of my and also the things that I love about me, but also accepting those things that I still need to work on. That's what this project is about.
And this project is a self-entitled project, right?
Yeah, because this is the first. I said I would never do it because I always wondered why Aaliyah never, her first project wasn't self-titled.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until she felt like she found herself just like as a woman and creatively, artistically, how she dressed and what she was accomplishing in her career. Then it was like self-titled. And I always said, as a kid, I was like, "Oh, I'm never gonna self-title a project. I won't waste it until I really feel like I've reached like the highest sense of self." Doesn't mean that all the work is done, but I'm aware as to who I am. So the work starts here. So I feel like the work of Elijah starts now.
So what can people expect outside of Ghostbuster? What else can people expect from the
album?
album?
So the new single Sugar, Water, and Lime comes out May 17th. I'm super excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's going to be more singing, more live instrumentation.
Holding notes.
And more holding hella notes. I'm coming in wailing.
Yes.
All that. You got to get all that. And then, and storytelling. And I just like, I love poetry growing up. I always try to find ways to sneak it in, but also not do so much that you lose the listener's ear. But I'm really excited about this record.
I'm excited too.
Thank you.
I mean, you came out with the bang with Ghostbuster, and I swear, like I said, I can't get it out of my head, and you're not gonna get me to sing. But it's a beautiful song, and the video is beautiful. I'm excited to see what you come out of in this project? What comes
Wow.
out of you? I'm,
Wow.
I'm excited to see what's next for you.
I'm excited too. I'm excited. I'm really stepping back and like appreciating and noticing like now this go around the gatekeepers like Phil extending his platform to me with We Sound Crazy, and you like you didn't have to, like, you know what I mean, like I could have just came to Nashville, but even hearing that I'm in town and making this happen on such short notice, that like as black artists we don't have many of these opportunities,
Yeah.
especially now. Like I say it and I sound like a broken record, but it's not just commonplace in our rollout to go towards on the Conan show or like Jimmy Fallon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So if it's not the culture, and that's what I was telling like my team, like I want to touch the culture. I don't even care about that other stuff. Like that'll come when it comes, and of course it's amazing because
Yeah.
I want my mama to see me on TV. But
Mhm.
what I think the culture care about is moments like this.
They do.
Yeah.
That's why I do it quite often. I gravitate to artists that don't fit the copy and paste rollout when it comes to the industry. You know what I mean? And they're great artists. They're great. They doing the numbers. They doing the streaming. They doing the lyricism and the vocal abilities. All of that. They're just not the copy and paste routine
Yep.
that you always get from the industry. And unfortunately, a lot of eyes don't get open until that moment happens.
Exactly.
But that's okay
Yeah.
because there's people like me. We
Yes.
sound crazy. Shout out to Phil Thornton,
Yeah.
Claude Kelly, Chuck Harmony, Timon Bacon. A lot of names.
No, that's them. That's
them.
everybody.
That's them. Got it
Yeah.
right. Perfect. Shout out to them because the platforms exist. The people are here. They want it, and we just are grateful to you for
Thank
opening up
you.
that ear and be like that voice and saying, "Hey, I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you what it is."
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. We need to come together, man. That like we're it seems too common in our group, in our community, and our people. Like we really only come together to tear each other down.
Yeah.
I've never seen us come together in the way that I've seen with the whole Kendrick and Drake thing. Like I actually thought that was like a lost thing. You know what I mean? Or the way people like gather to like tear down like Beyonce, right? It's just
Yeah.
kind of like, but if we came together, not even if you remove them, but if we came together like that for those other artists, or if we come together like that, just in terms of when those new artists or those underappreciated artists call on us, we'd be dangerous.
Well, tell us, when are you going to do a stop here in Nashville to sing and perform? And
Very soon, very soon, very soon.
Very
I
soon.
wanna. I love y'all food.
as we note to the fact that I'm vegan.
Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna be back because I gotta come and record a song with Louis York.
Oh,
So-
cool. Okay.
So you should pull up. I'll
I
get your
will,
information.
please.
Yeah, we have your information. We just pull up and hang out. We're just gonna create, see what that sounds like. So I'll be
Okay.
back maybe like if all goes well and our schedules align, because I gotta go to Atlanta and shoot some videos. But if our schedules align, I think we're gonna try to do it as soon as next week.
Okay, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Tell people where they can follow you and find more about your music and try to get a TED Talk from you.
I ain't doing no TED Talks, but I do vent. If you go on my Insta stories, I do vent every now and then. You catch me on a good
Yeah.
day. Oh, it's gonna be like I'll go for like no stories, and then like it'll be like 27 stories. just
That's
'cause-
funny.
Yeah, because God put it on my heart. But it's it's the same throughout all the platforms. It's Sir Elijah Blake, SirElijahBlake on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Yeah, that's all of them, right?
I think that's all.
Yeah,
That's
I'm not
everything.
giving out my Snapchat because y'all are so nasty on there.
Oh Lord, the things
I don't
I
even-
bet you've gotten from Snap.
You know, the funny thing is, I haven't been on my Snap in a while,
Yeah.
and I actually forgot. Like, I usually only use it just because, like, my ex girlfriend told me the camera quality is better.
It is.
Yeah, and I've noticed that. So sometimes if I'm like filming something, I like use it, and I just like got in my Snapchat and I was like, y'all are so nasty.
There's some freaks up in
Yeah,
there.
I'm gonna delete it
look,
again.
I have to put my eyes on like little stop mode. I'm not looking at this today. People are disgusting.
Oh yeah, yeah, nasty little freakazoid.
Little freakazoids.
Yeah.
Well, y'all, please make sure that you go and add Ghostbuster to your playlist. Do it. We're going to play it, of course, on RnB Vibes. Matter of fact, just everything that says Elijah Blake or even Sean Fenton, right? Was that
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Whatever name you may come, just download it.
Exactly.
Just download it.
Actually,
it's great.
This is $1.99.
It's $1.
That's worth than like they say it's worth more than like 10,000 streams or something crazy. So please.
Please go ahead and make sure you download it and get it stuck in your head, get it stuck in your mind, because he is a wonderful man. I really
Thank
appreciate
you.
you.
Thank you so much. And I appreciate this conversation. You're so easy to talk to.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
That's people like you make me want to move to the South because it's like it's just you didn't even have to try. There was no facade. It's just like you're speaking from your heart. You're just true. Like I feel like in LA, like people literally have to like make a
Plastic.
decision to say I'm gonna be authentic, and it's like well then it's not authentic. If you had to like tell yourself, okay, now right now from 2 o'clock to 3 o'clock I'm gonna be authentic. That's not authentic.
Well, thank you for getting my nod to become more of a talk show host. I appreciate it.
Oh, you would. I want to be your first guest. There.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Let's do it.
But you okay? You know you got to not only talk but sing as well
I
on the same
will.
day. Okay, as long as you do both, be good, be good, be good.
Set me free with Ebony.
Woo!
Talk to me with Ebony.
And we just had 3 kids. That just happened just now.
1, 2, 3 with Ebony.
You are a godsend. Oh my gosh.
Thank
Y'all,
you.
okay, I think I could talk to you all day. It's the Gemini in us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you guys for checking out RnB Vibes with Ebony Elijah Blake.
Thank y'all for having me. So it's Ebony, not
Ebony.
you want to be Beyonce so bad.
I'm so